Karthik, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, super excited to be here.
Yeah. Karthik Mahadevan is the co-founder and CEO of Envision, where he has spent the past 7 years building technology that empowers people with disabilities. He led the creation of Envision Glasses used by thousands of blind and low vision people worldwide. Karthik, my first question to you is, why would you choose to take this specific pursuit in life?
Yeah, the whole thing for me started when I was still a student. I was just doing your master's in design. But yeah, I think sort of throughout my studies, I had like a very strong passion for technology and for your design. But I wanted to always combine that with being able to bring about a positive impact in people's life.
Right.
So I remember towards the end of my master's, I was just looking for a project to do a thesis on. Um, and I ended up, like visiting a school for the blind in India to go and give a guest, like talk to them and talk to them about, about like what it means to be a designer. I remember during the talk, I was talking to a lot of students in the room, and I remember asking them that, like, hey, if all of you were to become a designer in the future, what will be the problems that all of you would like to solve? And a lot of the students in the room that day were like, I want to be more independent, right? I want to be able to, like to go out in my own. I want to be able to hang out with my friends. I want to be able to pick up a book and read a book by myself. So I don't know, that incident really stuck with me because I felt, deep down, all of these students just wanted to experience independence. And I felt like, me being a designer, why am I not doing something about it?
Right.
So you went back to uni. I spoke to your professors of mine, and they said, "Hey, I want to do this as a thesis," and started off as that. Started off as nothing more than a research project for me, and yeah, like it just got super exciting. That I, like we built a prototype of an application that helps them understand the world around them, and then one thing I led to another. I've been just very, very excited about what we're building. So yeah, still technically doing my thesis 7 years down the line.
Amazing. What did you study?
I studied industrial design
Mhm.
in a Delft University.
Very nice. And I imagine you're in India currently.
No, I'm currently in San Francisco actually.
Oh, nice. Awesome. That's so cool. So, yeah, I mean, that is all a beautiful story. And I always love people who use their skills to make other people's lives better. And, did you ever ask yourself why hasn't such a tool been created yet? And if it is, why is your solution going to be any different?
Yeah, I think accessibility uh, almost always has been like an afterthought for many people, right? Like if you look at the way technology progresses, accessibility is sort of like not like the first thing people think about. It's something that people just tag on in the very end. And this happens everywhere. Like you go into a building and you can see if they have like just stuck like a braille, a label, so here and
Right.
there. It's very obvious that they didn't sort of think it through from
Yeah.
from the
It's
beginning.
not done in the design phase. It's done after the fact. And it's like, sure, we'll
Exactly.
make this compliant. We'll throw a few, you know.
Exactly. And that's true for everything, right? Every piece of technology always starts off being something for people with a vision, and then they sort of tag along a way of making it accessible to the blind. And that's a phenomenon that's only increasing, right? Like the more we have touchscreen interfaces, the more information that we consume become a visual. The like the more alienated like we're making this population. So yeah, I think that's mainly been the reason why this population has sort of not been addressed the way like it should have been. Of course, there are your companies in the fringes who are building on accessibility, but a lot of them just end up being very like old-fashioned legacy technology companies who
Right.
make stuff like braille readers or like very stigmatizing assistive technology.
So it's an
So I
old
think
archaic industry with not much focus.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So if you ever go into an assistive technology event or a conference or an exhibition, you'd actually see like a lot of very, very old, big clunky tech. There's a lot of big screens, big monitors, big buttons. So like none of them are just cutting edge. There's no sort of like latest technology in those
Right.
solutions. So a lot of it happens to be that, and I think that's what we wanted to change. We wanted to bring the cutting edge technology to disrupt accessibility and assistive technology as a whole. And we've been successful in doing that to a large extent, but at the same time, still just scratching the surface of what's actually possible with the kind of technology we are building.
Right. And exactly what types of people are you helping? And give me a little bit of description about how these glasses work.
Yeah. So at the heart of it, it's people who are blind or have a low vision. So
Completely
that is
blind?
a spectrum. Yeah, yeah, completely blind
Okay.
to people who have low vision, right? So there is a spectrum there
Mm,
for people who like can't see anything at all to people who still have some usable vision left. The way our technology works is that what we have built is an AI agent for accessibility. It's called Ally, and like it is available both as a smartphone application, but also as a smart glasses based solution. When you put them on, you simply ask a question that you need answer to. And what this AI agent will do is it will sort of use some reasoning capabilities to understand what the intention behind the question is. And then it has access to a bunch of tools which it can access to go out ahead and give you a response to what you're looking for. So to give you an example, when a blind person is at a restaurant, they can simply hold up a menu and ask, how much is the cappuccino? Right? And then what this agent will do is that it will understand, okay, the intention is to to extract some kind of information from this document. So it'll open up the camera, it will capture the image, it will just crop the document from the image so that it ignores all the background noise.
mm,
Then it will do like an OCR or a text recognition on the document to extract all the text. It will understand what the layout of the document is, and then it will invoke an LLM to look for the price of a cappuccino and just to come back with that answer to them.
right.
And all of this happens in under your 2 seconds. It's almost like a real time information, as
Right.
if the person is talking to somebody around them to help, right? So
Yeah.
that's basically what Ally is able to do.
Very
It sort
cool.
of is built to be very agentic. It's built to be a conversational assistant. So all you need to know is how to ask a question, and you can get access to any kind of visual information around you.
Right. And Karthik, this is like an emerging industry because just the explosion of natural language processors like ChatGPT, I mean, we're talking like this is just an industry that was birthed maybe 3 years ago, I'd imagine. I mean, and I wonder what your predictive power is in terms of where your company is going to head because, do you guys have an idea of where i- natural language processors will be able to, like, how fast and what the next advancement of a natural language processor might be? Because these things are moving exponentially fast. And, as someone who has a startup like yourself, you probably want to know, like, hey, like, what's the landscape going to be in 4 or 5 years from now? In a good way, it's just that this is going to lead on to an explosion of advancements in technology and tools that you can harness for solving problems to help the people who you're trying to help.
Yeah, no, exactly. And we are super sort of like plugged in into the industry. We are your partners with everyone who is working on the next set of problems. And I think we're sort of evolving with that sort of notion, right? I think uh, you know, it's very hard to predict what's going to happen. I think the like the leading experts in AI all have very different opinion. Like some
Mm,
believe that we'll have AGI in a year. Some people say it's at least a decade away. So I
yeah.
think yeah, like predicting in this market is very difficult. But I think what we sort of do is we sort of have like a very agile system because our so like North Star is clear is that hey, we want to build the best way for people with a disability to access the world around them. And all of these are just tools that can help us like to get there, right? And we've
Mm,
been working with AI when it was very simple, a machine learning stuff, where it would detect objects, it will detect a face, and it was all these discrete functions, to all the evolution that has happened with a chat GPT and the explosion of a large language models and a multimodal AI. So we have always been able to sort of evolve ourselves with
Hmm.
the speed of technology. And I think we are always sort of 2 steps ahead, and we're predicting from what's going to happen next. So I think we're super excited, and we're also super instrumental in how this technology is progress. We work very closely with teams like OpenAI and Gemini to sort of offer us like early access to like the tools that they're working on, and in return we offer them insights from this accessibility focused population. So it's very exciting. I think
Yeah.
we are excited. I think what we see in the short term, what would very likely happen is we are almost on the brink of having like a real time AI, something that's always listening, always on you, and always aware of you and your surrounding. I think that's what's going to happen over the next couple of years. So I think that's
Hmm.
where our focus is in making sure when AI evolves to that, it's accessible, and like we're not leaving behind a big population of the people.
Very cool. What's your current biggest challenge technologically?
I think we're sort of trying uh, to do your 2 things, and I think those are 2 things that are going to evolve over time. But we really want to get better at it quickly. On your one hand, we're trying to improve the reasoning capability of the agent itself, where it's able to understand the intent behind questions
Hmm.
in a better way. So I think that's like one part of like the puzzle that we are partnering with external so companies like OpenAI and Gemini on, just to make sure we get a better reasoning, a model at the
Hmm.
core of it. And the other piece of the puzzle is we just want to increase the amount of tools that this agent has access to. Like,
Hmm.
so as of now, it has access to a camera, an OCR. It has access to doing a web search. It can check the weather. It can like check your agenda. It can check your email. So it has sort of like about like 15 different tools that it has access to, and we want to keep on increasing the amount of tools that is in its arsenal, right?
Right.
Because we want Ally to, like soon be able to order a food for you. It should be
Right.
able to book a taxi for you, right? So we really want to build all these integrations because that will really unlock the ability of Ally to just become the interface that people have to access all these different services that is around them. So I think
Right.
that's really where our team's focus is.
Right.
And yeah, it is such a challenging, like to build that, because we are still at a startup scale and the resources are limited. So being able to tame our ambitions with respect to the like resources that we have, that's where the big challenge is.
Got it. I do wonder if like you're reinventing the wheel potentially. It's kind of one of those it's called the weight equation. It's like the question is, should we fire like a rocket ship to Alpha Centauri today? But if we wait 20 years, our rocket ships will be 3 times faster. So we'll get there sooner with the advancements of technology. And I wonder with like, in the sense where you might be reinventing the wheel, you have companies are certainly working on this sort of technology, maybe not for this exact application you're talking about, but something like Meta is working on glasses. And would it make more sense to wait for something like Meta to come out and then integrate with their API to you can use some of their functions, or building your own proprietary tools? Additionally, I wonder what companies like OpenAI do in the back end. Like, do they really help you with your own proprietary technology and very niche use cases, or is it more of just a general service?
Yeah. So 2 things. I think like what we are focused on is building the software. We are not in the hardware business, so we sort of like partner with other hardware manufacturers to
Hmm.
deliver our just software with their hardware. Right? So our product is hardware agnostic. We've been working with the Google like glasses in the past. Right now, we're working with a company called Solos, who actually has an open source smart glasses out there, and we are very much in talks with Google and Meta, and we are in the early access programs for when their smart glasses actually open up their SDKs. As of now, both the Google and the Meta smart glasses are not yet open to your third-party developers,
Right.
but we are in early
Right.
access because they will be
But
available
I
next
wonder
year.
Yeah, but I wonder, like, when you guys all get together and all your engineers are huddled together, and you're like, okay, we don't have access to, Meta's SDK or API, and we don't necessarily have access to these technologies. But hey, they've got a multi-billion-dollar budget, and they're building these incredible tools. Should we
Mhm.
wait or just focus around having seamless integration, or should we start building our own stuff? Like, is this a struggle with you guys, or it's not even a
Not
question?
really. Uh, so basically, like, because we can do like both, right? It's not like a
Right,
if or or a choice, right? We can, of course, sort of just sit back and just wait for others to actually open
right,
source their like smart glasses, or we already have existing tools out there like the Solos glasses that actually allow us to ship a product you're in the market like today. So instead of you waiting a year to see if your Meta open sources like their hardware, I can just ship something now, and that's exactly what we're doing, right? And
hmm,
it doesn't mean that we are ruling out like the option with like Meta. We're shipping the first thing now, and as soon as we have access to to like Meta's glasses,
right,
next year we will be on that, and that just increases the options that we offer to people, and that's mainly our position. Like we're not uh, sort of trying to build these lockdown systems. We are a software, and we can be on as many systems as possible. It can be on your phone, it can be on your glasses, it can be on the
right,
web. So like the more hardware that's out there, it's in fact better for us, and that's the big bet
right.
that we're making. Is that in like next couple of years, your smart glasses will become a ubiquitous thing. I think every big company will have a like a smart glasses out there, and we will build the AI applications that will be on these just on these smart glasses
Hmm,
with a focus on accessibility, right? And with regards to the second point that you make, uh, you're working with OpenAI, your Gemini, and your Meta's team, I think they want people like us to focus on verticals, right? Because what these big companies are focused on is building more of like a general assistance, right? They're focused on building a general AI assistance, and they're actively helping and investing in companies that are building your vertical AI, right? So if you want to build an AI that's suitable for like legal use cases, if you want to build an AI that's suitable for a specific a medical application, that's what they are sort of openly supporting, because those are niche expertise and those are niche experiences will not be something that all of these big companies will go into, because like the market is too small for them, right? And I
hmm,
think that's where we come in, where we have very deep rooted expertise and experience in building for this audience. So like we take that like most advanced models, and we you build the application on like top of these. So it's not like we are building any. It's a proprietary AI. That's not our like business, but we take the latest and the best models that are being put out by these companies and are building very niche applications with the help of
right.
them.
Right, right. I meant like proprietary tech as in like your software, not yeah, but I completely understood and well said. Now I do wonder, where do you see the company in 5 years from now?
I think what like sort of we envision is that we want we envision an ally actually to become just synonymous with accessibility, right? So any just service, public space, or workspace, if they like want to make their systems and their events and their spaces more accessible, they just need to sort of to plug in Ally into their existing systems, and we will sort of be able to make it accessible uh, almost overnight, right? So to give you a brief examples, currently we're doing this with a bunch of museums in San Francisco, where we are teaching Ally specific information about the facilities of this museum, the artwork that's in there. And as a result of that, when a blind person is walking into a museum, they are able to just interact with Ally to help them, like not just navigate the museum, but also understand the art that they're looking at, right? Like what's in front of them,
Very cool.
like a description of it visually and stuff like that. So we want to expand that to airports, hotels, any public space that as of now is both inaccessible, and they don't have a clear way of how they can make it accessible. So Ally can become like this interface between them that offers accessibility out of the box.
I'm just thinking, I imagine the students are going to want to get these glasses for exams. They can just
Yeah.
look at their papers and be like, "Oh, what does this say? What's the answer?" Uh, but yeah, that's also really cool. And Karthik, I admire your brilliant mind and your innovative energy, and I think it's absolutely wonderful. And that idea just seems like a great idea. How can people learn more about what you do or keep in touch with you or the company?
The best way would be to go to our website, which is www.ally.me. That's ALLY.me. We have all the updates there about our apps, about our glasses, and anything that we will be updating in the future.
Right. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Michael. It was a pleasure being here. Talk later.